Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to Adam's Quest. In the last episode, our jungle family was able to form a strange and very rickety alliance with the apes. Now make no mistake, I know as soon as we make the wrong move, these apes are going to descend upon our tribe. The only reason why we're okay living with them right now, why this family has found a way to coexist right beside their stinky trees, is that they have the stinky tail, so they don't smell quite as appealing to a big-nosed ape. But because they have such a wide area that they can smell within, I'm a little bit worried about what's going to happen once we do consume all of their fruits. That means that the ape is going to have to find somewhere else to get his food. So I'm hoping that doesn't mean he's going to get too close to, like, our swamp families. Poor little Shadow, who has been left all alone since his father passed away. And since his brother kind of ran off, a little bit jealous over all of the attention that his younger sibling was receiving. In fact, he's close enough now that maybe Amazon and Orion, as they clear out the grass in the area, making sure that their bluebird family, of course, is going to be safe, they might just stumble into this little guy, surrounded by bugs it seems, and see if there might be a way that they could take him under their wings too. Orion just offered up a place inside the tribe for Amazon because he senses the great potential in her, of course, thanks to her strength. And I wonder if maybe Mantis would have watched from the shadows as they took care of that crabbit. He knows that they're strong, and that's kind of what he wants for himself too. He wants to be able to call himself the greatest hunter in all the land, so he can prove that he might be even better than his brother Shadow. And likewise, our two bluebird siblings are currently trying to find the bunnies that their father scared away, so they're going to hop even deeper into the swamplands now. Unfortunately, it does seem like the bunnies may have completely skittered off. In fact, the only one I see is a bit closer to where Leap is right now, so they probably wouldn't be able to sense that guy. They'll keep making their way around all of these bugs, of course, so they don't end up getting trapped. And that would then lead them straight into our little safe den in the swamps, where Shadow himself is still in mourning. It seems fitting that these three would all come together, perhaps as a little band of outcasts in a way. Something tells me that our bluebird twins, our newest pair of bluebird twins, would not be too interested in the idea of leadership. They would probably try to find their own path to carve out on the island that is far, far away from the responsibility that the bluebird feathers would give them. And in fact, I think that's exactly why Leap has been so worried lately. He has been quite a bit stressed out over the whole situation. He knows he has a big decision to make, and since he doesn't know too much about Adam's stories, it was probably a lot for this little guy to handle. So maybe realizing that all he's really doing right now is pushing his children away, he would try to find a way to bring Kuvan to the help that he needs, because he has been swarmed by these bugs so often lately. He actually just got over some of the sleeping sickness himself, so maybe Leap would request that he hops his way out of the swamps, as much as he knows he loves this place, and tries to find the healing island far off in the distance, where all of our little creatures are singing. I think we might be ready to have another baby between Sunrise and Chime too. So if we bring a little Chirp out of the nest, and now since he has the water body, he should be able to dive straight into the ocean. Oh, he could do a little bit of scouting too. I don't think we've gone so far down in this direction. So maybe he'll be able to find some little fish swarms, something for somebody else in his family to catch, or hopefully other healing fruits that other creatures can use. Then we'll go ahead and let Sunrise breed with Chime, so she can settle herself right down in this nest and have her next baby on the next turn. She has to stay very close to Glow, of course, but I think we'll move her out of the nest for now, let her plant her feet right down in those warm sandy shores, and watch her father get to work. I feel like Sunrise would be willing to part with just one of these water-breathing fruits, so hopefully Chime will be able to go into the water with his son. We want to make sure that he's safe just in case any leeches spawn in these big kelp patches. We don't need him taking extra damage because of it. Now meanwhile, Pebble is looking to do the same, maybe steal one of these plants for himself. He misses the connection that he had with his family while he ate these water-breathing fruits. So since Sunrise is a little bit preoccupied with all of her babies right now, I think it would be the perfect occasion for Pebble to snag one up for himself, and then settle himself down in the tide pools maybe, where he knows he's going to be safe. He should even be able to scoop up those fish for the rest of the tribe, so it's not a complete waste. He will be able to do some extra hunting for them, but I'm not sure if Sunrise is going to be too happy to find that her fruits keep going missing. Something tells me she's going to notice sooner rather than later. We'll have Gravel keep trying to find some more berries to eat too, and then we have Ghoul, one of the most controversial members of the tribe at the moment, because she had a grand mission ahead of her to gather up the carnivorous plant's fruit. She was supposed to bring that back to her father to prove that she was ready for leadership. But instead, Rarico, looking for those feathers herself, as a way to impress Orion of course, managed to complete the task first. So she's going to be making her way back to her father very, very soon with all of that food in tow. And I wonder if maybe our lion pride, our little group of Savannah sons, might be intrigued by what she accomplished. Hopper and Cicada, of course, not so much because they have seen their fair share of dangers, especially so close to those swamplands. In fact, Hopper is currently eyeing up what seems to be another swarm of bugs very, very close to their territory, so he's not willing to take any chances here. We'll just have him knock down those acorns for his mate, and then maybe we'll have him come over here to help Trance bury his brother. Trance is still very, very shaken about the whole situation. He feels like it was definitely his fault that Myth passed away so early. Even though he had the shaman's curse, he felt like maybe he could lead him in a better direction, but obviously that did not happen. So let's have him try to dig out a little area to hopefully bury his brother. He'll keep working at that soil until he can finally set his remains to rest. And I think we're actually going to leave a little Ghoul in the nest with her babies, because I do see that she has a very large swarm of bugs right next to her. So I'm hoping that'll be enough to protect her from those. And I think that also means that we're out of turns. So let's see if maybe a Sunrise's next baby is going to be just as lucky as her first. Hopefully we'll see that water potty again. Oh, I think we actually did, and it's another male too. Oh, that's kind of funny. Very, very interesting how the males of the tribe are getting the water body, and yet Glow was not so lucky. Unfortunately, that's a little bit of a bad omen for us, because I have noticed that basically no females have been born on this island in quite a while. We are getting very, very low on females that could start families, so we're going to have to try to fix that very soon. But that said, this baby will still be a wonderful help, because at least we know that now his brother will have somebody to swim around in the deepest parts of the ocean with. So I think we're going to name this little baby Rhapsody, and it's good to see that he managed to inherit the home island immunity gene from his parents too. We will probably need to consider maybe bringing back the shaman's curse soon, but again the issue is going to lie in which females are going to inherit it if they're born at all. Now that Glow has her second gem too, that gives her a little bit more freedom to maybe splash around in the shallow water, and probably also notice the stolen fruits on the other side of the island. She knows how important those are to their families, so maybe she would be the one to report that back to her mother. But for now, Sunrise is going to spend her time trying to dig up some of the worms right in the sand. Now Fang has also passed away overnight, which leaves many of our jungle families without their mother. So I think Daylily is going to try to go after her half-sister Amazon. She knows that she went off toward adventure, and it seems as if she has definitely found it. Maybe Daylily has a bit of an adventurous soul in her as well. But I do wonder if perhaps Amazon would be a little bit embarrassed of her half-sister, because she's not exactly the strongest individual. In fact, she only has a 2 in strength, so it's a bit strange to think that these two came from the same family. The only difference is that Daylily's father was a beetle instead of Bumble. So maybe Amazon would kindly request that she is put on the berry duty, since she can at least pick up all of those poison berries with her nimble fingers. We'll have her make her way down the shore to find some more poison berries closer to the main nest, and that in turn would lead her straight toward a little pebble, who's still trying to entice the fishies in his direction. It looks like they're very, very close, so you might have a chance yet. Why don't you lie in wait as we have Amazon and Orion return from their mission? There we go. Now you can scoop up all of those delicious fish and maybe offer them up to Daylily. I'm sure her fur color would probably remind him of his mother, so he is very intrigued already. But now we might bring our warriors back to the main portion of the tribe too, so their training can commence. We'll bring Orion down to the front so he can lead them to their new home, and we'll have to try to figure out some sort of task for Mantis to complete. Something to show that he is meant to be one of the Bluebird's royal guards. I suppose just hunting bunnies would be a good way to prove his speed, maybe. Prove that he can outsmart the little guys, prove that he can provide for the tribe. And it looks as if our ape might actually be wandering off. Oh no, that's a little bit worrying. I wonder if he caught a whiff of our creatures in the swamp after all. You guys might want to set off pretty soon, actually. That doesn't seem like a good omen for you. So I feel like these creatures are probably going to live like the bandits, like the bandit brothers of old. They're not going to plant down any roots. They're going to live a very nomadic existence, exploring everything around them and looting what they can. It helps too that Shadow is one of the creatures with the nimble fingers, so if they do happen to run into any shell piles being guarded by the Krabbits, then we know that they'll be able to live up to that namesake. Now it looks like you guys can safely harvest all of these stinky fruits again. So let's have Beetle do the honors like usual, and then Thorn can go ahead and lick all of that stinky stench off of you. Yeah, I am super worried about the direction that the ape is taking, though. That does not bode well for our creatures without the stinky tail. Let's at least go ahead and maybe pick up some of the grass in the area. And what is that? Oh, it's a little acorn, okay. It must have dropped down from the tree. Yeah, I guess this one is giving us acorns to eat. I'm a little bit nervous to pick that one up, though, because I'm not sure if it's going to... Oh my gosh! Make the ape angry? But we managed to find his secret little stash? His little healing fruit that he's keeping hidden right behind his tree? Oh, that is very mysterious. Okay, sir. I didn't know that you were so prepared back here. You have food for days, you have mud piles to roll in, you have acorns to eat, and you have a healing fruit, just in case any of our stronger creatures do manage to chip away at your health. Very mysterious. We're going to have to see if there's a way for us to maybe get our hands on that too, but without making the ape angry in the process. I feel like that's probably a bit easier said than done. At least it's a good sign, though. We know that we have some way to keep ourselves safe, just in case the ape does attack us. Now, Leap, it looks like the bugs may have turned on you instead. So as we have Kuvan keep hopping his way down the shore, where he'll hopefully be able to maybe scoop up some of those worms that we saw by the healing islands, we'll have Leap look for his children now. If we can find a safe way to go past all of these bugs. The one silver lining is that Ghoul was able to stay safe because she stayed with her two little babies, but she is going to have to move away from the nest eventually because we need to let them grow. This is going to be a Leap's chance to see the newest little twins in the nest as well. A lot of you guys have pointed out that it seems as if Ghoul has been chosen for the bluebird feathers just because she gave birth to twins. It is definitely an interesting development, and one that I'm sure is going to lead her family to greatness in the future. But since Rarico herself has come back with the fruits that her mother asked for, I think that is going to come first in Leap's mind, as a way to honor his fallen mate if nothing else. So we can finally take those bluebird feathers off of you, which must be such a weight off of your shoulders, and offer them over to Rarico as we change her over to the official alpha of the tribe. Right in front of Ghoul too, which must be a little bit disappointing for her. Part of her might feel betrayed that her own sister would steal the spotlight, but I'm not sure if we can really say that there's any ill will between them. Rarico only did this to impress Orion and her family, not to spite Ghoul despite how it may seem. So her selfish acts have won her the bluebird feathers for now, but something tells me that's not going to appease her quite yet. She seems like the sort of creature who is going to constantly try to better her game. She's going to have to keep finding more and more ways to prove herself, that we're even better than before if she wants to justify her own actions in her mind. I think deep down she knows that the mission was never hers to have, so that might be part of the reason, but my goodness, this little root is very stubborn. Even poor little Hopper wasn't able to dig it up successfully, so you guys are going to have to keep trying, I suppose, as we make sure that we pick up all of the old nests, and as our little lion Pride makes their first steps away from the family tree. We're going to have to leave Scarab right there so he's next to his brothers, of course, and his mother as well, keeping him very, very safe from any potential bluebirds in the sky. But I think that is, oh no, that's not the end of this turn. We need to come down here and make sure that Chirp is searching for his healing fruits. Oh, look how deep this one is. The only way a creature would be able to use this is if they actually did have the water breathing ability already. So this is a good emergency tactic just in case a creature like Chime ran out of the breathing buff. In fact, I might have him go ahead and munch on one of those healing fruits as soon as the day passes. But for now, we'll just go ahead and gather up some of the extra algae and maybe try to fish up a few snacks for the tribe too. Oh, wait a second, it looks like that may have unlocked another gene in our mutation menu. Would it be related to fishing, perhaps? Let's see, we'll just use your mutation menu for a moment, Kufan. Yeah, the fishing tail. Oh, I bet that's what we received. You know, I'm not sure if any of our creatures have actually had the fishing tail before. That might be an interesting thing for us to try to mutate into the tribe. But there's all of those stinky fruits back on those trees. And yet the ape is still moving away from us. Oh my goodness. And we have a very, very unfriendly Berryina in the swamplands too. Kind of the area that's bordering both the swamp and the jungle. Alright, do you think maybe the ape is going after him? That is very, very concerning, but at the moment, we just want to make sure that our tribe is gathering the stinky fruits. So we'll have Beetle go ahead and scoop up some more. Oh, every last one of the fruits. Okay, little guy. Showing your stuff, I see. Well, then you can use the extra turns to clear out the grass, so hopefully we can use this area to our advantage. Now, we still don't want Bumble to pick up the fruits yet because that scent is going to be too strong, but luckily Wasp will be growing up on the next turn, so we might as well set her up for the task. That way she'll be able to pick up the fruits as soon as she gets that last gem. And she also managed to find a sneaky little nest in the middle of the jungle too. Very, very interesting. I wonder if maybe she could use that to her advantage as well. It might be a good place for them to set up a family as long as we're sure that the stinky tail is going to stick around. But yeah, is there anybody who can maybe go investigate the Berryina situation? I mean, I guess in all honesty, you guys are probably going to be the closest ones in his line of sight, unless he's hunting the bunny instead. Maybe he'll chase the little bunny off toward the shores, and that would probably lead him straight toward our little vagabonds, our little bandit brothers, as they go closer to the clearings as well. This is taking Shadow down the exact same path that Mantis used before him, so I'm sure it's bringing back some bad memories. You'll have to put it all behind you though, little guy, because you are not going to go in the same direction. You guys are going to try to find us something new a bit further down the shore. We'll have to be careful, of course, because they don't have anything to protect themselves from the bugs. They don't have much to protect themselves from the apes either. So if they get too close to wherever the ape ran off to, they're going to be in quite a bit of trouble. In fact, I wonder if maybe our jungle family would start to realize that they're not alone. Once they make their way a little bit closer, I'm sure they're going to notice the invaders and maybe try to send them packing. It looks like the carnivorous plant may have also grown back. So why don't you put your skills to the test, especially now that Rex is all fully grown? I'm sure he would want to investigate this thing, alright, and see for himself that it seems to be calm for now. So maybe they'll be able to try their hand at gathering up the fruit too. We'll have Rex jump in first with his 3 gems. As the eldest of the brothers, he would be the one to make sure it's safe for them. And now that he knows they have nothing to fear, we can bring Stag way over on the other side, which actually sets him up right on top of all of this debris, which could potentially bring danger their way. If anything is nearby to hear it, then I'm sure they would hone in on our little lion family, so we'll have to keep a close eye on them from here on out. But he did also unearth another one of these little permanent nests, which is quite interesting. That's actually a terrible spot to make a nest. Whoever lived here definitely didn't live very long, because I'm sure their babies just stumbled into this carnivorous plant by accident. Especially with all of those bugs around the area. Just getting sick would be a major disadvantage. Now Trance, can we try just one more time to dig up this tile? Oh my goodness, this particular root is very, very stubborn. But we know how hard you're trying to bury your brother's remains. So even if that skeleton disappears, I feel like we can give you a pass. Not only that, but it seems like he may have unlocked another gene. Was that actually the digging paw? Oh my gosh, I think it was. Isn't that fitting? Oh, do you think maybe Trance's line could be like the grave diggers of the tribe? If we can mutate the digging paw onto his potential babies? Oh, that would be very, very interesting. I feel like Cicada is probably going to want to have another baby too, very shortly because she is getting a little bit old. She's probably really hoping for a daughter as well, so we'll bring Hopper to her side on the next turn. And now it looks like Rarico can finally make her way back toward the mainlands, back toward the main nest of the tribe. But it looks like our friendly Berryina Rasp may have actually found some meat for us to eat. Oh, that's interesting. He went hunting for his little babies. Oh, that is too cute. Let's bring Leap around this way so he can pick up that meat for us. Aha, we do have bunnies hopping around the area. Well, Mantis, this would be the perfect test for you. Let's have you make your way toward the swamplands as well and try to sniff out those bunnies. Oh, it looks like they might be dodging around all of those bug swarms, so it's going to be a very, very difficult task. But if you come at it from the correct direction, maybe we'll be able to prove your strength after all. Especially right in front of Rarico, who is just all too eager to go meet Orion again. Now she knows without a doubt that she is going to have his attention. So we're going to have to maneuver him around all of his tribe mates. We'll bring Daylily up here to hopefully pick up some of the berries, because that was the task that she was given. And then we can settle Orion right next to Rarico in the nest. So let's take a look at their mutation menu, because I think it's pretty clear that they're going to start a very, very strong family. That would be a great way for Rarico to prove yet again to herself that she is meant to be a leader, if she manages to mother some of the strongest babies in the tribe. So while we do need to make sure that we're placing the normal blood clotting into her mutation menu, because she does have the hemophilia hidden away in her inactive traits, so that could become an issue. The other gene we're going to place in here is the claw. Just the normal claw because she doesn't have it on her right now, and if we want to see the babies with the double claws again, we will need to tamper with her genes a little bit. Orion, in the meantime, we're going to have to place the stripes in his genetics, and then it looks like he also has the hemophilia genes, so his other slot is going to be taken up with the normal blood clotting as well. So hopefully they'll be able to breed on this turn. There we go, and then we'll see our very first new bluebird heirs, or potentially at least on the next turn. And let's bring Kuvan over to those healing shores, of course, where he's going to be able to gather up tons and tons of worms in the sand. His unique appearance is sure to delight little Glow, and his skills are sure to impress her as well. Her mother may have never been able to successfully dig up the worms herself, but it's clear that other members of the tribe have found better ways of gathering food. so she can try her hand too. Maybe she can learn a thing or two from our resident little radioactive duck, and we'll let them get to know each other overnight. Now Chirp, how is your father doing? He still has the water-breathing ability, but I am going to have him sneak up another one of these fruits just in case. We don't need him losing that power while you guys are still deep, deep down underwater. There's a lot of fish out this way too. It's a little bit difficult to see because the water is so stormy and dark, but this would be a great place for them to maybe invite Pebble to do a bit of fishing. We'll have Chime return to the surface on the next turn though, because I do want to see if they can have another daughter as well. As we move a little tiny Rhapsody a bit closer to the water side to see if he has his sea legs too. I'm sure he's very, very excited to dive into the water with his sibling. Let's have Amazon follow Mantis because I feel like he could probably use a little bit of help, just tracking down the bunnies in general. Maybe she could even help by circling around the other side to pin it in between them. And now as we move Pebble a little bit further into the swamps, chasing after Daylily as always, I think the only creature we have left to move is a ghoul, who should probably finally let her children out of the nest, especially now that grass is literally growing around them because they haven't moved in so long. I did want to give them a special gem color too. Even though they are technically part of Adam's line, thanks to all of the drama taking place between she and her half-sister, maybe we should start a separate branch with our Berryinas. So I think we're going to give them the pink color, because that's the only shade of gem that we haven't used so far, so it would be completely unique to our little Berryina twins. We'll see if hopefully we can move them a bit further away from those bugs too. That way they can still grow up on this turn, but we don't have to worry about the sleeping sickness. Thankfully, the lack of bluebirds in our sky means that they should be safe no matter what, but we're going to keep Ghoul right by their side just in case. So as our final turn for today, let's see what Rarico's very first baby is going to look like. Let's cross our fingers for stripes and claws. Oh my goodness, look at this baby! A destroyer just like his father. So you have definitely proven yourself to be a very, very good mother of strong babies. At least that's another way to potentially gain your family's favor. But I think I heard somebody getting really hurt. That must have been back in our jungle family because I think, yeah, that's the only place where we have danger. Oh my goodness, the carnivore did manage to find you. Oh, that is not good. I mean, at least we know that the ape is still around, so he's not going after our other tribe mates, but now Thorn is definitely bleeding. So go ahead and lick Thorn's wounds for us. That way we know he won't be taking any extra damage. But luckily we do have this healing fruit literally right next to him. So once the danger has passed, we'll be able to make sure that Thorn is all nice and well healed again. We'll go ahead and poison the Berryina and use the rest of his attacks to finish him off. Alright Thorn, I guess there wasn't too much to worry about, was there? That means that we unfortunately missed out on picking up our stinky fruits, and we also may have picked up a leech in the process. But that's why we sent you two off in the ocean together. That is a good sign, if nothing else, that it might be time for Chime to return to his mate's side. He has had enough of the ocean for now. And Chirp has a new little brother to take his place anyway. So let's bring Rhapsody into the waves too. With his second gem, he should be able to swim just as fast as Chirp can. Chirp can actually show him all the ways of the ocean, and we'll make sure they stay side by side so they don't end up picking up any nasty leeches either. Wait a second, you are not part of our tribe. Who are you, little one? Korasi? Oh, she has a toxic body too. Very, very interesting, a little swamp child. She has the immunity genes K and A. So hopefully that'll line up well with some of our males. I mean, we do desperately need females in the tribe right now. And how fitting that she ran straight into our little band of bandits. Well, why don't we see if maybe Duke Von can do the honors? Since he has a toxic body too. Oh, it looks like she might be going for a little swim. I'm sure that's very easy with her frog toes. So to save his brother from potentially getting the sleeping sickness, we'll have Van Kierduke go ahead and invite this little sweetheart to our tribe. Oh my goodness, Look how fast you can hop under that water. Well, we definitely don't want to see you scooting down there yet because you don't have the water breathing ability. So for now, let's have you settle up between all of the brothers, of course, the brother bandits. I like how they're slowly collecting all different colors of gems as well, to show that they're truly from many different backgrounds. But that should at least ensure that hopefully Duke Fan won't catch that sleeping sickness, and will bring his brother around this way too to investigate what lies ahead. Now there is no way that our jungle family wouldn't notice these creatures encroaching upon their territory. And since they don't have the stinky tail, they do run the risk of catching the attention of the ape. So they're going to have to find a way to drive these creatures away from their home if they don't want to risk losing their alliance with the ape. The bandits are not going to be very easy to convince, however. Something tells me that they would not shy away from danger very easily, not unless it was literally staring them straight down the nose. But before we end the episode, let's see how our little mutation menu adventures are going, if hopefully we're close to unlocking the stinky tail. Alright, only 8 more actions to complete, so we're getting really close now. I think that means as long as the ape doesn't interfere, we should be able to get ready to ship ourselves off to the next island very soon. And I know that Beast and Bear are going to be front and center in this expedition. Something tells me that they might even be the ones to lead this journey, pulling some of the attention away from the power-hungry holders of the bluebird feathers. This might even be the start of a little rift in our tribe. The creatures who aren't so interested in following their ways might decide to skitter off toward the savannas, where the much more humble bear hyenas are ready to start their next adventure. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!